Political showdown at the U.S.-Mexico border. President Biden is pushing back against Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott's new border policies. Under the new Texas legislation, Abbott has made illegal immigration a state crime. Already, Democrats are pushing back, deriding the legislation as a show-me-your-papers bill and vowing to appeal it in court. Legal precedent is murky. In 2012, the Supreme Court struck down portions of a similar law that was down in Arizona, citing that the federal government sets immigration laws. Earlier this week, the government announced it was closing 2 rail ports of entry at Eagle Pass as a result of the surging migrant crisis. But Abbott says Biden isn't doing enough.
This law I'm about to sign will fund many more miles of wall and barrier just like this. Senate Bill 3 will help to deter illegal immigration and support our law enforcement response to the Biden border crisis.
This month alone, U.S. Border Patrol officials estimate that more than 10,000 migrants have crossed through the border per day. And let's head on down now to the border where Capitol correspondent Monica Madden from our sister station KXAN in Texas joins us. Monica, what exactly will the new law do?
So as you mentioned, Kevin, it makes it a state crime for anyone to cross from Mexico into Texas illegally outside of a port of entry. So this could be punishable up to 6 months in jail. It's a Class B misdemeanor. And for repeat offenders, they could face up to 20 years in prison. And that's a second-degree felony. So the penalties are stiff for those who repeat this offense. And it also, part of this is it gives state police officers new authorities that are currently reserved just for federal police officers, Border Patrol. So any state officer or local police officer, if they see someone crossing over here illegally, they could arrest them. Those penalties that I laid out exist, but also if that migrant agrees, a state judge could order them to return back to Mexico.
So that's the policy. Now tell me about the people. What are they telling you inside of these border communities?
We're hearing a little bit of mixed reaction from people here in the Rio Grande Valley, Kevin. A lot of people in this community, they do see a lot of issues going on here at the border and welcome a lot of the governor's policies under Operation Lone Star, specifically because a lot of them feel as though the federal government is not doing enough to curb the flow of illegal migration. So they welcome a lot of these initiatives, whereas there are other people, opponents, who feel very strongly against new laws like this one. Lots of fear we heard from people on the ground here, worries that, for some of those who have mixed immigration status families, which is a lot of people here in these border communities, they have a lot of fear that, maybe their mother, who is a citizen, might be targeted because she speaks Spanish and the color of her skin. A lot of folks are telling us they're afraid about racial profiling. So there's a lot of fear in the community as well, as much as this is welcomed by a lot of the governor's supporters, Kevin.
Monica, you've got some new reporting on the legal battle looming and Governor Abbott's response.
Yeah, absolutely. Just within the last 30 minutes or so, we got our first lawsuit against Senate Bill 4. This was completely expected. The ACLU is suing Texas over this law. And yesterday during the press conference, Governor Abbott said he plans to take this to the U.S. Supreme Court if necessary. As you noted, a similar law in Arizona got struck down by the Supreme Court in 2012. But Governor Abbott thinks that Texas's law will pass the constitutionality test and hopefully give the state more authority when it comes to enforcing immigration laws, depending on how the Supreme Court might rule if it gets to that point. We also just heard from the president of Mexico, who says this country plans to challenge this law as well. Kevin?
Monica Madden, excellent reporting. Thank you so much for breaking that down for us. Truly, thank you.